Good day, dear friends. Welcome to this version of our Lionel Legal. This is the sister station, so to speak, the sister network, the sister channel of the Lionel media empire. I'm so glad you can be with us. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for being a part of this. And thank you for spreading the good word, the holy word of truth. Truth sometimes can be a problem. I've always told you flat out, without any ado or any kind of hesitation, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm always going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you exactly what's going on. You will never, ever, ever, ever hear me lie. I will tell you exactly what I feel. You might not like it. Sometimes people don't like it. I think what President Trump is doing, this foreign policy, is schizophrenic. It is incoherent. It is, I don't even know what it is. I don't think he knows what he's doing. I don't know what he thinks he's doing. But when it comes to law and order, spot on. So don't think I'm some glad hander. I'm not some, yay! I'm not like Monica Crowley standing there. Hi, how are you? What is that? Hi, how are you? Welcome. I'm the chief of protocol. Hi. I don't do that. Sorry, don't play that game. I love the man, and I think he's terrific, but he does some ridiculous. Did you see what happens? Did you see how they're going to finally shit can Dan Bonino? Well, he doesn't know it. It's not official. But now he's got a co-assistant director. He's out of there. He is no good. You know it, and I know it. That's the truth. This guy was never made for this. Never, ever, ever ready for this. He's a big baby. He's this baby, this caterwauling little kid who loves to talk about how he's hurting and how hard it is and how he's working so hard. And he is so scared. And they're so, what the hell's going on? What are you talking about? It's ridiculous. Absolutely monumentally ridiculous. Now, let me tell you what's going on here. So let me just remind you, like I said, I'll tell you the truth. I will tell you the truth when it's the truth. Okay? Now, the bottom line is, my friends, it's called law and order. Law and order. It's almost redundant to say law and order is kind of like it's like a waste of time. It's like command and control. It's like, yeah, that's true. President Trump's Department of Justice is moving with a bold precision, ladies and gentlemen, and thank God, a bold precision, in order to take back our streets, take back our country, take back law and order, and I commend him 100% with what he is doing. Absolutely, positively. Good for him. Bold moves to take back America's cities, take back what's ours, and to recognize there is a brand of criminal that is so devoid of law and order, so horrid, you can't even believe it. By the way, remember, the hoodie has now been replaced by the bonnet. We have huge swaths, not always, but huge swaths, apparently, of certain urban and African American teens and youth who think that you can move en masse and swarms and attack and move like hordes, like pillaging locusts. Again, not all, but some. We got to call it the way it is, my friends. We've got to call it the way it is and say what it is. And we've got to do this. And we've got to crack down on illegals. Nick Gillespie from Reason said, do we have to arrest some Uber Eats driver who's just doing a good job? Listen to my friend. Let me explain something to you. You can't sit back and say, okay, you're not okay. It doesn't work like that. What the hell are you doing in our country? What are you doing in our country without any sense of law and order? Why are you here? Why aren't you legal? I don't care if you're a cartel member or you work for Home Depot. It doesn't matter. What are you doing here? It doesn't matter why you're speeding. It doesn't matter if, the law is the law is the law. Sometimes, though, there might be the law of necessity if you're speeding to the hospital. That's one thing. But we have this idea that somehow we can... Nobody fears us. Nobody fears us. That's why America's cities have got to be removed from the crime, this death grip of crime. They don't fear us. Nobody cares. Are you tired of the chaos? Are you tired of this soft on crime, this political world that we live in? Politicians who believe in no jail, no bail. What is going on here? We've had enough of this nonsense. And I'm preaching to the choir. And nowhere is this more apparent. Nowhere is this more obvious. Nowhere is this more subject to our immediate appraisal and review, than in Washington, D.C., where the DOJ has effectively federalized, thank God, the police, that miserable Muriel Bowser police, and that stupid dimwit chief of police who didn't know what chain of command meant. President Trump has federalized the police force, stripping the operational control from the local dingbat, dimwit, ne'er-do-well officials who have proven incapable and incompetent of protecting their citizens. We've had enough of it, my friends. For years, D.C. leaders and these folks have embraced these woke policies, DEI nonsense, defunded and demoralized their officers, and hired the worst possible people ever. Because not only are we going to defund the police, but we're going to have it infused and extravasated and permeated with a group of people who should be nowhere near a gun, a badge, or anything. People who are out of shape physically, mentally, and socially. It's true. They've allowed violent criminals to roam free. We've had enough. Have you had enough? Say it. Have you had enough? Say it. The result was predictable. Rising homicides, carjackings in broad daylight, and neighborhoods living under siege. My friends, let me tell you something. Trump has made it clear, abundantly clear, 100% clear. And if you're not listening, you're missing it. So pay attention. Enough is enough. Who's with me? Who's with me? Let the world know. By reasserting federal authority, the Department of Justice, thank God, is restoring order and empowering law enforcement. Are you with me? Are you? You want to send a message to criminals that the days of free rein are over? Are you with me? Stand behind this president. This isn't about politics. It's about survival. It's existential, baby. This isn't about social. It's about survival. Families should be able to walk down the streets anywhere in this country without fear. Even that creepy, weird, love-lost, Lonely Hearts Club charter member, Maureen Dowd, even she recognizes the fact that this is just, things are better. D.C. is better because of Muriel Bowser and her ilk, her kind, her type, this woke DEI nonsense. Businesses shouldn't have to shutter behind steel gates. Do you agree? Do you agree? Say it. Say it. The move to federalize the Metropolitan Police Department, the MPD, is a test case for America's resolve, for your guts, for our wherewithal, our balls, our backbone. And it's a test case for America's urban future. Let me ask you, do we continue tolerating this? Do we? Do we continue tolerating failed progressive governance? It's not even progressive. It's pro-criminal. It's nonsense. Or do we restore law and order with decisive federal action? What do we do? Trump is betting on the latter, my friends, and millions of Americans like you and me agree. Do you agree? Say it. Do you agree? Say it. Say it. Let the world know. Let the world know. Do you agree with this? Punch the number one. Number one. America one. One and only. America only. We're number one. We're it. Nobody else. Screw Ukraine, the Middle East, all these other people. Forget it. I'm done with it. I'm done. America first, America only, America here. Number one. Who's with me? Say it. Say it loud. Say it proud. Say it. Don't be afraid. Come forward. Let your voice be heard. Let's be clear about what brought us here, dear friends. Washington, D.C., the capital of the most powerful nation in history, became, for reasons I'll never know, a poster child for urban decay under Democratic leadership. Violence, crime skyrocketed. Carjacking surged at levels not seen in decades. And residents, the good people of D.C., residents reported repeatedly feeling abandoned, feeling like nobody cared, feeling like nobody's paying attention, feeling abandoned by their so-called leadership. Tourists to the nation's capital, tourists avoided entire neighborhoods. Have you been to D.C.? It's better now. Businesses fled, leaving boarded up storefronts as monuments to progressive failure. And they want to be the 51st state? I don't think so. Muriel Bowser, okay? And the D.C. Council solution, ready for this? This is what they did. They doubled down on criminal first policies, reducing penalties, easing sentencing, and tying the hands of police officers who were already demoralized and outnumbered. You for this? You for this? Do you like this? Tell me. It's up to you. If you like it, it's okay. Maybe I got the wrong crew here, but I don't think you like this too much. Remember, this wasn't incompetence. It was ideology. This radical left nihilistic nonsense, this radical left nonsense pushed a narrative that people were the problem, not the solution. They were cheered, or they cheered, I should say, when budgets were slashed. They shrugged as officers resigned in record numbers and turned criminals into victims, while real victims were left to pick up the pieces. Do you like that? Under that warped worldview, safety became a luxury. Safety became a luxury item only the powerful could afford. For ordinary citizens, like you and me, my friends, just America's rank and file. Teachers walking home from school, mothers pushing strollers, elderly residents heading to church. The streets became hunting grounds. You like that? You for that? Are you progressive? Is that okay with you? Maybe you like that. I don't think so. Bold President Trump, recognized this insanity. He has always understood what too many career criminals ignore. Without law and order, there is no freedom. A nation that cannot protect its citizens cannot survive. It's that simple. That's why his DOJ stepped in, not to trample local control or wrest independence from individual, not to do it for its own sake, but to rescue the residents of D.C., starting with D.C., from leaders who forfeited their legitimacy by refusing to perform the most basic duty of governance, keeping people straight and safe. You with me? You with me? Huh? You're right about this, renegade. We're a joke. USA is the joke in your state. You're right about that. You're right about that. Critics in the media and the political classes are already screaming about authoritarianism. They whine that Trump is overreaching or undermining democracy. But ask yourself this question. What democracy exists in a city where elections keep producing leaders who refuse to enforce the law, where criminals rule the streets, and where law-abiding residents have no voice because their lives are dominated by fear? Where restoring order is not undermining democracy. It's the first step towards making democracy possible again. By federalizing the MPD, Trump has drawn a line in the sand. He's telling criminals, he's telling the world, your time is up. He's telling officers, you will be supported, not demoralized. And he's telling every American, everyone, all the American people, this administration stands with you, not with the radicals who treat lawbreakers as heroes. This move is not just about D.C. It's a signal, my friend, a very strong signal, a signal. You with me? A signal to every city drowning in crime, from Chicago to San Francisco to Philadelphia. If local leaders won't protect their citizens, the federal government will. And the impact was immediate. Within days of the announcement, police morale surged. Officers who had felt abandoned finally saw that someone had their backs. Communities that had resigned themselves to lawlessness felt for the first time a spark of hope. Isn't it sad that this wasn't there in the first place? And criminals who had strutted with impunity, who figured, I don't have to worry about this, now face a federal government with the resources, the manpower, and the will to break their networks apart. The word on the street changed immediately and overnight. Fear shifted from innocent families and citizens like you and me to the thugs and the savages who preyed upon them. This isn't theoretical. Look at the numbers. Under the Biden administration, D.C. homicides spiked to their highest in 2 decades. Carjackings more than doubled. In some neighborhoods, residents described hearing gunfire nightly. Is this America? In the nation's capital? But within weeks of Trump's intervention, arrests increased. Crime hotspots were targeted with precision, and prosecutors, no longer afraid of being, second guessed and questioned and called on the carpets and threatened with lawsuits, all by woke supervisors. They started to pursue cases aggressively, and the culture shifted from appeasement to accountability. That's what happens when leadership changes from weakness to strength. Now, some ask, is this sustainable? Can the federal government realistically manage local police departments across the country? You better believe it. The answer is that it shouldn't have to. In a functioning republic, local government should be capable of basic governance. This makes sense to you? It should. Basic governance. But when ideology replaces duty, when political posturing and this left lunacy takes precedence over public safety, extraordinary and necessary measures become necessary. Trump's approach in D.C. is not meant to be permanent. It's meant to be corrective. It's a message to failed mayors and city councils everywhere. Get your act together or the federal government will. Anybody got a problem with that? Anybody got a problem with that? And it's not just about crime statistics. It's about reclaiming the soul of America's cities. For too long, radical activists have treated urban decline as acceptable. I guess as acceptable collateral damage in their ideological crusade. They blame systemic racism when officers do their job. They excuse criminals because of their inequality. They argue that punishment is outdated. We can't do this anymore because rehabilitation is the only answer, they say. Even when that Soros restorative justice nonsense, even when rehabilitation means releasing repeat offenders who immediately commit more crimes, they don't care. Trump rejects this destructive mindset. He understands that compassion for criminals cannot come at the expense of compassion for victims, for you and me, law-abiding, God-fearing, tax-paying American citizens. Justice must mean protection for the innocent, not endless second chances for the guilty. You with me? Who's with me on this? Who's with me? Think about the symbolism of reclaiming Washington, D.C., or some people say Washington. This is not just any city. This is the nation's capital, the face of America to the world. When foreign leaders visited under Biden, they saw tents and crime scenes and chaos blocks from the White House. What message did that send about our strength? By restoring order in D.C., Trump is restoring America's credibility, our credibility. He's showing allies and adversaries around the world and foe and friend alike that this country is once again governed by strength, not weakness, but by resolve, not resignation. You with me? Who's with me in this one? The future, my dear friends, will test this policy. This entrenched, woke, disgusting bureaucracy, activist judges, and radical media are all going to be fighting tooth and nail to understand it. They're going to sue. They're going to smear. They're going to lawfare us. They're going to sabotage. But Trump thrives under pressure. He has built his second term on a foundation of action, not rhetoric. Federalizing, ladies and gentlemen, federalizing DC's police. It's not some stunt. It's a declaration of intent. An intent, a declaration that is needed. America is no longer, we're not going to tolerate the decay of its cities. We will not allow radical experiments to destroy the safety, the health, the welfare of our cities and to destroy the dignity of our people. You with me? Who's with me in this? In the end, my friend, this is bigger than Washington. It's about the direction of the nation. Do we want to live in a country where criminals, seriously, do we want to live in a country where criminals fear the law or a country where citizens fear the criminal? Think about this. Do we accept the collapse of our cities as inevitable? Like, oh, well, it's the way it goes. Or do we rise to reclaim them? President Donald John Trump has answered those questions with clarity and with conviction. Law and order are back, my friends. The message is simple. The message is urgent. And the results are undeniable. Are you with me? Are you with me in this? I want to hear this. America's cities are worth saving. Call your legislators, call your assemblymen, call your senators, call your city council, call everybody. Make sure you email them and ask them, what are you doing to get off your fat ass to make this city and this country and this county and this world better? What are you doing? Do you support President Trump? Yes or no? Because If you don't, we will kick you out. We will primary your ass and put somebody in who understands what we're about. America's cities, America's heart are worth saving. Washington, D.C. is worth saving. Washington, D.C., the capital. And under President Trump's leadership, by God, they will be saved. Are you with me? The days of chaos are ending. And the age of law and order has returned. Do you feel good about this? Now remember, I'm telling you, when it comes to foreign policy, I don't think he knows what he's doing. But when it comes to this is what he does. And this is what he should commit himself to. This is what the president should pay attention to. This is what he is good at and regarding. My friends, let's show support. Make your name known. Make sure you get a hold of your legislators. Everybody, spread the word. Follow Lionel Legal. Spread the word. Subscribe. And follow me on this. I'm not doing this just for fun. I'm a former prosecutor. I know what I'm doing. I believe in the Constitution. And the Constitution is not some suicide pact that we sign with a bunch of lunatic criminals. It's to protect us, to protect our rights. But we can live concomitantly with the protection and the full addressing and the full acceptance of constitutional protections, but also protecting us. Believe me, this isn't about fascism or anything like that. It's about common sense. It's about fighting back. Are you with me? Are you with me on this one? Let the world know this. So do me a favor, my friends. Thank you for being with us. And this hand fart for you. I don't do this. This is the way I say hello. The energy, the zephyr is for you. This is for you. This is my love. This is it. Oh, I know he's being childish, perhaps, but that means I love you. And by the sound of this, by the tenor, by the timbre, by the sonority of this, you know I mean business. Okay? Crime. Nothing to sniff at. I mean that sincerely. All right, my friends. Like this. Like this video. Like this channel. Like us. Subscribe to us. Follow the word. Tell people about this. Now, at the end of this, I'm going to put a little section for you to comment regarding this, because I want you to comment on this. I want you to comment. I want you to speak up. But do more than just speaking with us. Make sure you get a hold of your legislators and tell them that you're paying attention. You want your streets back. You want safety back. You want to feel like an American. And by the way, we know who these people are. You know that in New York City, there might be, I don't know, maybe 1,500 total out of a city of 8 million. Maybe badasses that if we got rid of these people, I mean, legally, through the law, you would take a cut out of crime like you can't believe. Let police be police. Unshackle prosecutors. Go after them. We have all the tools, all the wherewithal. Make sure we get rid of people. Go after people who harm children and the elderly, who really victimize people. Go after the savages, these tribal, savage thugs from all walks of life and all demographics who prey on you and me. All right, my friends, I love you. Thank you so much for this. Don't forget Lionel Legal. Subscribe. Make sure you go right now, subscribe. And thank you for this, okay? Also, make sure you go to our other network, our other channel, Lionel Legal, Lionel Nation, rather. Don't forget to follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors as she fights every day to protect our children, to stop, to crush, to destroy child predation and human trafficking. All right? We mean business, my friends. All right. Have a great and glorious day. Thanks so much for watching. And don't forget, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Dad.